Hello, this is Jay with Lumen Reiki Academy, and today I want to speak to something that sits quietly at the heart of the Reiki path, and that is the topic of trust. Not just trust in Reiki, but trust in yourself. There's often a moment in practice where this question begins to rise. Can I trust what I'm sensing with Reiki? Can I trust what is coming through me? Can I trust myself enough to follow it? So for many of us, this is not easy. We've been taught to rely on control, to analyze, and to be certain before we act. But Reiki does not meet us through control. Reiki meets us through that art of allowing. And when we try to control everything, we often miss the beautiful guidance that is already present waiting for us. Trust begins when we soften that need. When we allow Reiki to move beyond our hands and into our awareness, our decisions, and our life. And this is where something begins to shift. When you trust yourself more, you begin to trust Reiki more. And when you trust Reiki more, you begin to release control to something deeper. This is not about losing yourself. It is about becoming more aligned with who you are. Now, this doesn't mean there won't be resistance. I've experienced this myself. There were times when I felt intuitive guidance through Reiki, but some little fear would come in. But here's what I began to notice. When I felt this resistance, that was often the time and place I needed to lean in and listen more. Because intuition doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes it asks us to grow, to step beyond what we know. And I experienced this very clearly when Reiki guided me to move to Ecuador. From the outside, it looked like a really difficult decision. Selling a home, letting go of possessions, starting fresh. People told me I was brave. But I didn't feel brave. I didn't need to feel brave because I felt empowered, because I was trusting Reiki. And when I trusted Reiki, what seemed difficult began to move with this beautiful ease, not because it was simple, but because it was aligned. Now, this also brings up an important question. What happens when we trust the wrong thing? Many people have experienced where they trusted and the outcome was very painful. And this can make trust feel very fragile. But those moments don't mean we can't trust and can't learn to trust. They mean that we are learning discernment. There is a difference between reacting from thought and listening to deeper guidance. Thoughts often feel urgent, reactive, pressured. But guidance through Reiki tends to feel very different. It may be simple, quiet, and even when it asks us to grow, it also carries a sense of steadiness, not force, just steadiness. And this is something we learn over time. We don't need to rush it. We don't need to get it perfect right now. We simply begin to notice, to listen more carefully, and to trust just a little bit more. I also see this with many students. They can be hesitant to offer Reiki to others, a feeling not being ready or not experienced enough or not trusting themselves yet. But Reiki is learned through doing. I can never emphasize that enough, that Reiki is learned through actually doing, through allowing the energy to flow. And even when there is uncertainty, especially when there is uncertainty, because it is not you alone doing the work. It is Reiki flowing through you. So this week, I want you to invite you to do something really simple. Just notice one moment where you feel a gentle sense of guidance. And instead of questioning it immediately, just pause, allow it. And you don't need to act in any big way. Just acknowledge it. Because trust doesn't happen all at once. It grows, one allowing at a time. And as you walk this path, remember this: you are not meant to control Reiki. And you are meant to walk with it. And in doing so, you begin to walk more fully as yourself, your authentic self. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I send you abundance of Reiki healing, and I look forward to spending more time with you in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day.